So the characters that the Soaprentice is doing today for her Labyrinth series have terrified me my entire life. They have haunted me since I first saw them, and I have never been able to let them go. She, however, loves them. Loves them so much. And so it's so weird to me. I'm going to tell you all about these characters, why they terrify me, and maybe why she loves them so much in just a minute. But before I do, hello, I'm Mrs. Soap and Clay. Let's make stuff. How's it going, Sudsers? Welcome back to the channel. You're at Soap and Clay, where we make all the soapy things, and you are here for day 23 of 365 days of soap, year 2. And yeah, the Soaprentice is doing another Labyrinth themed soap today, and she is tackling the Fire Gang. Like from the Firewoods, the Chili Down with the Fire Gang, like the crazy orange guys that are all furry and the noses, and they take their eyes out and play like dice with them, and they're terrifying. And the Soap and Clay kidlets confirmed that they are still terrifying. So essentially this movie has been terrifying children for like generations, and the Soaprentice loves them. They're like her favorite characters, and I don't get it. So I actually can't tell you why she loves them so much, but I'm sure she'll pop in the comments and let us know, because she's good at that. And she likes interacting with the peoples too. But we should definitely go to her pour and check out, what she scented this with, because it is a Sierra candle scent, and I know it has something to do with woods, but I don't remember exactly what. So we'll check. Oh, it's a shea and whitewood. Hey, I remembered. See, you just had to start talking. It all works out. It's a shea and whitewood from Sierra Candles. And this scent does say that it will accelerate and or discolor. For sure discolor, maybe accelerate too. So let's go to the video and we'll talk about all of that there and, see what she did for the Fire Gang. Okay, so a couple things right off the top. We have to talk about the scent that's going into this. Otherwise, I will forget, because I am great at forgetting. So for the Fire Gang, the Soaprentice selected from Sierra Candles shea and whitewood fragrance oil. And it says tones of shea butter with the earthy notes of birchwood. And I'm going to assume that the reason she selected this is because wood. And the Fire Gang was found in the firewoods. So I'm thinking that's what this is. Now, the notes for soaping, no phthalates, all that jazz. Okay. So more information. It says this fragrance is really unique. Top notes of almond milk and coconut cream, followed by shea butter and sugared tonka bean with bottom notes of santal and birchwood. It smells amazing, great in soaps and candles. Vanillin content is 0.08%. The soaping notes say no acceleration or ricing, discolors to a light brown, super strong scent retention. Cool. So no real problems with any of that, but pay attention to the discoloring, because that's interesting, because she's doing like a fire thing here. So I'm wondering if she's hoping that the colored portions, maybe she's not even going to put the scent in the colored portions to keep them nice and vibrant, and then maybe the white portion goes brown. This is my thinking. Now, I know that I've mentioned it on the channel at least once or 9,000 times before, but the Soaprentice loves the Fire Gang so much. She had these tennis shoes, these canvas shoes. I'm sure there's like a proper cool, I'm a Gen Z and call my shoes thusly term for the type of shoes. Anyway, she has these black canvas shoes that she painted with the Fire Gang. She just took paint and made a couple of characters from the Fire Gang on her shoes. She loves the Fire Gang. And so that's cool. I mean, good on you. That's awesome. We like loving things. Loving things is fun. But okay, so the main base is going brown. So I think she did read the soaping notes and she's planning for it thusly. Good. Awesome. Okay. So yeah, no, the Fire Gang is terrifying. That is one of the scariest things, like in my childhood, and now also in the Soap and Clay Kidlets' childhood, because I like exposing them to things that scared the crap out of me. So one night when the power was out one winter, we went and hung out in the car and watched a movie on the DVD player in there. The car wasn't running. I'm not stupid, whatever. But we got it warm and then turned off the car. And anyway, I'm sure I'm not the only person that's done this. Whatever. And I made them watch The Neverending Story. And the Nothing, that scary wolf, terrified them. I mean, to that, most of the characters actually did terrify them, like a giant talking snail, or I don't think the snail actually talked, but it was giant. Or, that we should do a never-ending storyline. Oh, I would love that. Oh, I'm putting it on the list. But yeah, so that, plus I also made them watch this, the little clippet of the song, the Fire Gang song, the Chili Down with Fire Gang, on the YouTube, while we were in the shop, and the Soaprentice was making this soap. And they were both terrified. My kids play Granny, they play FNAF, they play really weird things. Never afraid of any of that. They were terrified of the Fire Gang. And I get it. Like, me too. Me too. I don't understand why the Fire Gang was included in the movie. Was it just time for a musical number? And so they thought they would make it really, terrifying? Really? Because that's the stuff that nightmares are made of. Seriously. Let's go check out this pour. Okay, and on to the pour of this. She is doing everything in a slab mold, and I'm curious to see what she does with her scent. All right, so she put about half of it into the main portion of the batter. Okay, all right. I would be a little bit hesitant to do it this way if you wanted the reds, oranges, and yellows to show up. There is really nothing super restricting you, especially since such a small amount of the colored portion was taken out of the whole, soap batter. There's nothing really restricting you from putting all of your fragrance into the main portion, especially with soaping notes that say, even though it's such a small vanillin content, if the soaping notes say it's going to discolor, there could be that other vanillin content, because there's like that other vanillin. Do you guys remember what that's called? The other vanillin. It escapes me. That wasn't meant to be the point of the video. I didn't realize that there was any discoloration problems or vanillin in this, so didn't think I'd be talking about it. But yeah, I would be rather apprehensive to put it in the colored portion if I wanted the colored portion to stay bright, even with such a small vanillin number, just because the soaping notes did specifically say it discolors to a brown. Was it brown or a light brown? Discolors to a light brown. Okay. So you still might be fine, but It's interesting. Cool. So she's going to be doing a flame pour or a mantra, or it's a mantra, right? Pretty sure. Awesome. Here for that. Cool. And yeah, no, back to the fire gang. I can't actually get over this. We're just going to talk more about that while we watch her pour her, you know, soap and do an awesome job at that and layering the stuff in. And I'll talk about the swirl stuff, you know, as I need to. But like, seriously, what was the point of them? So in case you, I don't know, don't like movies, I don't know under what scenario you would not have seen Labyrinth at this point. But yeah, no. And so there's this group of tall, lanky, furry, kind of fox looking, kind of stuff of nightmares looking things that exist out in the firewoods. And Sarah comes in contact with them at some point, and they actually provide no movement to the story, and I don't think they're meant to. They're very hedonistic in nature, right? Like, they are all about just pleasure and fun, and that's all they care about. And like, that's their whole last life, just hanging out in the forest and, you know, dancing and singing around a fire and removing their limbs. Arms, legs, head, eyeballs. At some point in their little song, they removed their eyeballs and played like dice with them, and then swallowed the eyeballs to put them back into the sockets. Like, and I think that Labyrinth was supposed to be a kid's movie. Also, her base set up really fast. Like, really, really fast. And so, as a result, what is normally meant to sort of push the batter underneath it, closer to the middle, this is all sort of, it's not dropping down into the rest of the bar for sure. And it's just sort of schlooping over the top, which might have been her intention. I really don't know, you know? But it's definitely not dropping down. And so in order to get it to drop down, she's pouring a little bit higher. Cool. Yep. That's always a good way to get your soap to let gravity help you, really. Just do that thing. Let gravity help out. And that's awesome. But yeah, no. What even is the point of, they tried to remove Sarah's head. Like they tried to remove her head. And at that moment, they got mad. They're just these fun-loving, all about a good time kind of guys in creepy ways. And then they got angry when they learned that Sarah's head was not removable. And they tried to remove it. That's terrifying. What was the point of that? Does anyone know? Seriously, it's scary. But also, maybe she completely meant for all of this to happen, because this totally looks like their fur or the tops of their crazy shock of orangey, fiery hair. Like, this works. This is really awesome. So even if this was not her intention to get it to go this far into the bar, because normally we don't really do that for like fire pours, this is pretty perfect. But, you know, I don't know. As usual, the Soaprentice will have to weigh in the comments, and maybe she can answer 2 questions. But if any of the rest of you know the answer to this other question, what even was the point of the fire gang, I'd like to have a conversation about it, because they freak me out. I still find them in my nightmares as an adult, and I am not kidding. Okay, now on to the cut of this. And this was put in the oven for C-pop and gel. And look at the color change. It's already starting to shift. The colors aren't nearly as vibrant as they were before, which is kind of disappointing, but at the same time, it still completely works. So it's all good. And this is the Soaprentice learning how to cut for one of the first bars that she did. I mean, I know I showed you the Bog of Eternal Stench already, but she actually cut all of these on the same day, the slabs, and I think this one may have been her first attempt. Now, for those of you who have never cut a slab and you're really concerned about cutting a slab, I would recommend getting a ruler out and using that as your guideline to score the top of your soap if you want a completely straight cut. I don't ever super care about completely straight cuts, and I just kind of take out my tape measure and measure out the width of the bar and, you know, then just cut. But, you know, other people are more professional than I am, really. So, do that. Cool. Get a ruler out so you know that you have a straight line. That said, all of these soaps look way straighter than mine ever do when I cut a slab. So, you know, whatever. But yeah, no, this is, these are really cute. Let's see how far down the color ended up going. Look at the sides. Not really very far from the little piece that we were able to look at there. So it was definitely a thicker batter. And the scent notes said, the soaping notes actually didn't say that it specifically said no acceleration. So maybe, honestly, maybe this was her entire plan, because looking at this bar and seeing that the majority of it just is this cool flame pattern with the reds and the oranges and the whites and the yellows, maybe she wanted the bottom portion to accelerate, to thicken up faster. So maybe she mixed it past emulsion and did the thing. But I don't know. I think it's a really cool bar of soap. I think that totally fits for the Fire Gang. And the scent, I will say, I did give these a sniff like I do everything before I talk to you about all the things. Definitely good scent retention. That is accurate. And I would also say that the soaping notes that it discolors to a light brown, also accurate, because she kind of lost the vibrancy of her yellows and her oranges in this, and her reds to that, and the whites are a little bit more beigey, but still a gorgeous bar of soap, and still completely works for the Labyrinth and for, you know, the Fire Gang, especially if you slap a label on that says Fire Gang, Shea and White Wood, and stick it next to all the rest of the Labyrinth soaps. That's a pretty one. That totally works. No, I think she did a great job with this. I am curious to know whether this was her intention or whether she was able to just work with what happened as she, you know, did the pour. But for now, that is day 23, the Fire Gang. And there they are, the Fire Gang soaps for the Soaprentice's Labyrinth line. And yeah, they're super awesome. Really cool flame pattern that's going on in there. It definitely did accelerate, and I'm pretty sure it discolored. And I would like to know from the Soaprentice if she meant for both of those things to occur. Maybe she was going for the base was going to ultimately go brown, like maybe some trees, but unfortunately some of the colors went more pastel-y than the bright for the flames and but I don't know, maybe that was all part of her plan. So, you know, she'll weigh in the comments below and let us know. If you loved it, weigh in the comments and let us know. And tell the Soaprentice what a great job she did, because she's good at all the things. That scent actually is very strong after saponification for sure. So that's definitely a winner in soap, as long as you can handle the aforementioned acceleration and discoloration. Yes. If you're interested in seeing what she does for her final bar in the Labyrinth series, because that's tomorrow, subscribe. That would be excellent. We are doing this every day, as the name 365 Days of Soap might suggest. So subscribe, come back, check out the last of the Labyrinth line, come hang out with us. It'll be a good time. For those of you who have been here for a good time because you're subscribed, hey, thanks for being subscribed. I'm so happy to call you my sudsers each and every day. I'm out of here for 2 days. Thank you so much for joining me for another round of 365 Days of Soap. I'll see you guys all again tomorrow for another round of soapy fun. Bye.